Yardie marks the directorial debut of Idris Elba and stars Aml Ameen, Stephen Graham and Calvin Demba. Now, Yardie tells the story of a boy named D, played by Aml Ameen, and this film is told in retrospect. So in the early 70s, we see a young D who's out with his brother Jerry, and he witnesses his brother Jerry get murdered by a rival drug gang. And then 10 years later, we see an older D, played by Aml Ameen, working for King Fox, who's one of the drug dealers in the area. And he is asked to deliver a package to a London connection called Rico, played by Stephen Graham. And it is whilst in London that D discovers that his brother's killer is also in London also. So there is a conflict here with D in terms of, does he obey his employer and deliver the package to Rico, or does he avenge his brother's death by killing the person responsible? This film is an impressive debut from Idris Elba, and I was very, very impressed with this film. What I liked most about this film is that Yardie is a character-driven film. It doesn't glamorize drug dealing, it doesn't glamorize the importation of drugs. This is a character-driven piece, and the film focuses on the central character, D, who we see in terms of trying to make a way for himself, avenge his brother's death, and also find some type of, consolation for his soul. He wants to save himself, and he can only do that by doing the right thing, by going down the right path or going down the dangerous path, which could lead to death and destruction. And this film is not a hard-boiled gangster film, and don't let the title deceive you. If you go into this film expecting something along the lines of Scarface, Goodfellas or Casino, you're going to be disappointed. This is a more character-driven and emotionally driven film, and I liked it. I liked the performances in the film. I thought that Aml Ameen was excellent as D. This young man's got a very, very bright career ahead of him. And to see him go from playing Lewis Hardy in The Build to Trife in Kidulthood to playing this role, I thought he was very, very good in this film. Also, Stephen Graham as Rico. I thought he was excellent in this film. He plays an East End gangster, but he can do one hell of a Jamaican accent. And to see him shift between the two, I thought it was really, really good. And it made for some good comedic moments in this film also. But I think the credit has to go to Idris for crafting together a very, very well-made story, bringing together great characters and making everybody give good performances in this film. I don't think that there was anybody in this film who gave a bad performance. Everybody was on their A game. But there were some criticisms of this film, and I think my main criticism was the fact that this film does skim over certain details that were not elaborated on. One aspect of this film was Dee's relationship with his girlfriend Yvonne. We see him focus on his relationship with Yvonne at one moment, and then in the next scene we discover that Yvonne has had a baby with him and moved to London. And there was no elaboration on that in the film, and I thought that it would have been better had they elaborated on that. As a film though, at an hour and 41 minutes, I think the film is the perfect length. And I liked how the film captures London in the early 80s. From the clothing, to the vehicles, to, touches of nostalgia from the old school telephones that we used to use. And I thought that it made for a really, really good piece. And the music in this film, the reggae music, the early 80s music, it just brings a touch of nostalgia and it just makes the film flow successfully. So I will give Yardie a strong 7 out of 10. Great performances, great music. This is one that I highly recommend that you watch. Is this one for the DVD collection? Absolutely. And it's good to see, British grown talent, and I can't wait to see what's happening next. So that's my review of Yardie. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Let me know what your favourite Idris Elba film is. And I shall see you on the next film review. Take care.